All right, so I've talked at length about why it's a good idea potentially to hire an appointment setter to set your final expense appointments, but in this video I'm actually going to talk about some of the downsides to hiring talent to set your appointments. And the reason I'm putting this video together is there's always pros and cons to everything in life. There's no perfect arrangement. And it's not just enough to say, hey, this is great and not consider the bad side. So the purpose of this video is to consider the what ifs, the other side of hiring appointment setters that you should be concerned with before you decide to embark in that direction. My name is David Duford. I own DeFord Insurance Group. I train and recruit agents nationally to sell final expense Medicare and annuities face-to-face and over the phone. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, thanks for watching my content. Man, I really appreciate it. Okay, let's jump right in. So here's the biggest thing you got to understand, guys, when you hire an appointment setter. Their skin is not in the game, okay? It's your leads you're buying. It's your money on the line. And you hire this appointment setter, there's no guarantee they're going to treat those leads like they were their own. They're not going to feel the same urgency. They're not going to feel the same motivation with thousands of dollars at play potentially in your leads because they don't have to worry about that. So one of the things that you have to understand really quickly is that because of this fundamental truism, it's likely that good appointment setters are not going to be any as good as even a mediocre appointment setter. So I think in a sense, you've got to kind of lower your expectations to a sense. Certainly you should manage and monitor them and make sure they're following the script that you teach them, because a lot of these will go off the the pathway that you give them. So you got to make sure you inspect what you expect. But the important thing to understand with appointment setting is that it's very hard to find talented appointment setters out there, because likely if they're really good on the phone, they've realized, hey, more than half the battle is getting in the door. Why don't I just sell this stuff for myself, okay? So it's, again, that's just what you're probably going to be faced with, is a level of capability appointment setting that's less than your own, even if you're just, in your mind, mediocre. Another problem with hiring an appointment setter, and this is another fundamental tenet of any business, I learned this from Mr. Dan Kennedy long time ago, is that one is the loneliest number in business, okay? When you have one of anything, the what is it called? It's the bottleneck of your business. If that one thing goes away, gets sick, goes bad, goes lame, guess what? You're kind of in trouble, aren't you? You're in a position to where if your appointment setter in this example goes away, gets sick, quits, your whole business is upended, and it can cause disastrous effects. So remember, when you outsource the appointment setting, that one person is your business, really is. And I would recommend, of course, this is what I did after I recognized this was a problem, is consider hiring two. If you're writing enough business, if you're running enough appointments and running enough leads, then consider hiring a second appointment setter to divvy up the responsibility. So if the first one you got to figuratively take out back and shoot, then you can go have the other one scale up their work for a little bit of time, at least got some appointments coming in, and have that person help train the new person, and you've not really ever lost a step. So again, two is better than one when it comes to appointment setters if you've got the lead flow to handle it. Number 4, the travails of hiring an appointment setter group. So this is another problem. You can either hire an individual freelancer to set appointments with you, or you can go to an appointment setting group and then outsource it to that. My experience has been, guys, with appointment setting groups, the problem with groups is that you never have any kind of quality control in a sense of who's setting my appointments and what level of consistency do they have. It's harder also to personally coach those appointment setters that are associates of an appointment setting group to the script that you like. So you don't have the ability to control what they're saying and what they're doing as accurately as if you hired your own. And they may switch appointment setters out, so you don't have a relationship with that appointment setter. And the worst examples I've seen are appointment setting groups that have hired people overseas that speak crappy English that are supposedly setting appointments and scare our clients because they think they're foreign scam artists or something like that, okay? So again, this is what happens when you go the group route to set appointments. What I prefer instead is to go hire an individual freelancer so that you have more control and autonomy when it comes to dictating what you want out of the appointment setting. Last but not least, I mentioned this earlier, the truth is, guys, appointment setters all go lame. It's just a matter of time before an appointment setter has enough of dialing on the phone and gives up and just loses that that mojo that's necessary to keep momentum up. My average appointment setter, and mine's typically higher than average, probably lasted a year and a half, okay? Some lasted longer, some lasted shorter. But over the course of my full time in the business, I probably had a good 5 or 6 appointment setters at some point or another. And the best ones lasted a year to a year and a half. So understand that this is not going to be like the only appointment setter you're going to have. You're going to be in a position where you're probably going to have to hire another one. And if they don't pan out, you're going to have to fire them quick too, by the way. So that's why I like, again, going back to the original point, like hiring 2 of them, because if one goes lame all of a sudden, I've got a backup there and I can bring somebody else on, and it's not nearly as much of a loss if that's the case. So there's the downsides to hiring a final expense appointment setter. If you can swallow all this, it might be a good deal to do an appointment setting venture. It was a great opportunity for me. I'm so glad that I did it. It made all the difference in my business to outsource appointment setting so I could be an appointment running machine, and that's what allowed me to run 30 to 40 appointments a week as a full-time final expense agent. If you'd like to ask me any questions about appointment setting, leave them below. If you'd like to learn more about joining DeFord Insurance Group, please click the links around my head somewhere or below, and you'll learn more about what I look for in an agent. Thanks for watching. See you.